A few episodes back, we witnessed a murder in the city of Markarth.
It looked lovely on my system.
The Forsworn.
Is someone there?
I bleed for the people of the Reach!
Yes,
it's
all
all
clear.
Die for my
By the
people.
Divines, the Forsworn are here in the city.
Everyone, stay back. The Markarth City Guard have this all under control. There are no Forsworn here.
After the dust had settled, we were approached by a man named Eltrys, who inconspicuously slipped us a note asking us to meet him at the Shrine of Talos. It is here that we can ask Eltrys for more information and continue the quest, the Forsworn Conspiracy.
I'm sorry to drag you into Markarth's problems, but after that attack in the market, I'm running out of time. You're an outsider. You're dangerous looking. You'll do.
All do? What are you talking about?
You want answers? Well, so do I. So does everyone in the city. A man goes crazy in the market. Everyone knows he's a Forsworn agent. Guards do nothing. Nothing but clean up the mess.
Are you saying you want me to investigate and find out what's going on here?
This has been going on for years, and all I've been able to find is murder and blood. I need help. Please. You find out why that woman was attacked, who's behind Waylon and the Forsworn, and I'll pay you for any information you bring me.
For those who are unaware, Margaret was the woman we saw get stabbed, and Waylon was the man who stabbed her. He's dead now thanks to the Markarth guards, but maybe we can still find a way to get information about him. Eltrys, can you tell me a little bit more about Waylon, and where did he live?
He was one of the smelter workers. I used to have a job down there myself, casting silver ingots. I never knew much about Waylon, except he lives in the Warrens, like all the other workers.
Okay, and what about the victim of the murder, Margaret? Know anything about her?
She's not from Markarth. The air about her screamed outsider. Visitors to the city usually stay at the Silver Blood Inn.
After the murder, I heard a lot of people yelling something about the Forsworn. Who are the Forsworn exactly?
They're remnants of the old rulers of Markarth, natives of the Reach, followers of the old ways. The Nords drove them out of the city, Ulfric Stormcloak and his men. That was about 20 years ago. But somehow they're still here, and they're killing people.
Have you looked into these murders at all?
Yes. It all started when I was a boy. My father owned one of the mines, rare for anyone who isn't a Nord. He was killed. Guards said it was just a madman, but everyone knew the murderer was a member of the Forsworn. I've been trying to find out why ever since. Gotten nowhere so far. And then I got married. Have a child of my own on the way. I swore I was going to just give up for my child's sake, but it's like my father's ghost is haunting me, asking me why.
All right, Eltrys, I'll investigate.
Keep your eyes and ears open.
We can start our investigation by visiting the Silver Blood Inn, where Eltrys says Margaret likely stayed during her time in Markarth. The Silver Blood Inn is located right inside the city gates and is operated entirely by the Silverbloods, the wealthiest and most powerful family in Markarth. The man standing at the front desk is named Klepper.
If I can't get you something, I'm sure my wife will bellow at me until I can.
Hi there, Klepper. I have a question for you. Did a woman named Margaret stay here by any chance?
Ah, yes. Rented the nicest room we had for a whole month. Best we all forget about her. Bad luck to talk about the dead in Markarth.
So Margaret had been staying in the Silver Blood Inn for a month before she was killed. Sounds like she's definitely an outsider, but what could she have possibly been working on for a month? Klepper, do you have the key to Margaret's room?
Of course, but I can't just hand that over. Privacy, after all.
We can then persuade Klepper to give us the room key, intimidate him, or rent the room for 447 gold. Alternatively, we could have pickpocketed Klepper, but just to play it safe, I decided to rent the room.
Well, I guess Margaret isn't around to complain. It's yours.
We find Margaret's room up some stairs to the east. Inside, we find a small table with some food and wine, a stone bed, can't imagine that's very comfortable, an end table, and some more food. All of the loot in this room is marked as owned, so I decided not to take anything. But if we search the end table, we find Margaret's journal. Meeting at the treasury house later today. Took them long enough. These people act like they own everything. Thonar Silverblood is the younger brother, but he's obviously the one in charge. makes all the deals, bullies local landowners into selling to him, even employs that wispy girl at the door to deter troublemakers like me. General Tullius is growing impatient, but I'll bring back the deed to Sidna Mine. On my life, I won't allow a group of Stormcloak sympathizers to own the prison to the most notorious criminals of the Reach. They say no one escapes. Why? Is it really that secure? Maybe I've played my hand too soon by rushing the confrontation with Thonar. There are shadows around every corner in this city, and I know I'm being watched. So Margaret was an Imperial spy working on behalf of General Tullius. She's been undercover here in Markarth for a month, waiting for the perfect time to strike the Silverbloods and retrieve the deed to Sidna Mine, which is apparently a high-security prison here in the city. Clearly, somebody found out about her plans and had her killed. We're pretty sure by this point that Margaret's killer was a Forsworn agent, but what does the Forsworn care about Margaret's presence in Markarth anyway? After putting away Margaret's journal and heading back outside, we get approached by a Markarth guard.
You. I've seen you snooping around, asking questions. Back off. You don't want to know what happens to troublemakers here.
Look, I'm not trying to cause any trouble here.
You're finding it. That's bad enough. This is your last warning, outsider. We keep the peace here. Stay out of our business.
Oh, great. The last thing we need is to draw the attention of the Markarth guards. If we want to continue investigating, we'd better be more careful. Next, we can try to dig up some information on Margaret's killer, Waylon, by heading over to the Warrens. Inside, we can talk to a man named Garvey.
The Warrens isn't a place for your type. What do you want?
What are the Warrens?
It's where you go when you can't afford a room anywhere else. About the time they opened the mines, someone got the idea to throw beds in here. Laborers, the sick, the lame, we're all here.
So only the poor and the sick live here?
That's right. Welcome to Markarth, traveler. Thank the divines you can choose to live somewhere else.
This is how the city of Markarth treats the sick and the poor? That's upsetting. I hope that changes one day. Garvey, did you know a man named Waylon?
Oh yes. I know everyone who sleeps in the Warrens. Kind of the one who passes the keys around. I guess someone else will be taking his room now.
Listen, I need the key to his room. Do you have it?
Sorry, but you don't exactly belong here.
Here again, we can acquire the key to Waylon's room through persuasion, intimidation, or by paying Garvey 464 gold. Here you go, Garvey. Go buy yourself something nice.
Welcome to the Warrens.
As we start to look for Waylon's room, we come across a woman named Kareen, sitting in the dirt.
Don't know anyone here who doesn't have rattles or ataxia.
That's horrible. Why doesn't the city do something to help these people? Even if these people can't be cured, the least the city could do is make them comfortable as their conditions continue to progress. In any event, we find Waylon's room all the way in the back to the right. Inside is a small table halfway buried in dirt, a mattress made out of hay, and inside of an unlocked chest, we find Waylon's note. Waylon, you have been chosen to strike fear in the heart of the Nords. Go to the market tomorrow. You will know what to do. N. So Waylon wasn't acting on his own. He was a hired hitman, sent to kill Margaret by whoever this note is from. N. Who is N? After stepping back outside, we again get stopped in our tracks. This time, however, it's not by a Markarth guard, but by a stranger named Dryston.
You've been digging around where you don't belong. It's time you learned a lesson.
Who sent you?
Someone who doesn't like you asking questions. Come on, let's see what you're made of.
This marks the beginning of a very long, drawn-out fist fight. I didn't want to take out my sword because I had a feeling I wasn't supposed to kill Dryston, so instead I stuck it out and slowly drained his health. Once he's had enough, Dryston surrenders.
You mangy piece of pit bait.
Talk now, or I send you to the gods.
I was sent by Nepos the Nose. The old man hands out the orders. He told me to make sure you didn't get in the way. That's all I know, I swear.
Nepos the Nose. That must be what the letter N stands for on the note to Waylon. That means that Nepos is the one that wanted Margaret dead. But again, we're left with the question of why. Margaret's journal mentioned Thonar Silverblood. Maybe we can pay him a visit and see what he knows about this whole situation. We find Thonar inside of the treasury house. But before we can talk to him, we have to speak to the lady at the front desk, Riata.
I'm sorry. We're only interested in helping our patrons.
What kind of patrons do you have?
For one, the landowners of the Reach. It goes without saying that they rely heavily on us for our silver and support. All the miners, farmers, and laborers in the Reach get their daily wages through us. Nepos the Nose handles that part of our business. He has a way with the workers.
So the Silverbloods work with Nepos the Nose, huh? Interesting. Tell me, Riata, who's in charge around here?
You want Thonar Silverblood. He handles all the family business. If you're here to talk politics, though, you'd want his brother, Thongvor. He spends most of his time in Understone Keep.
No, not his brother. I need to speak to Thonar.
I'm afraid he's asked not to be disturbed. He has important business.
He's expecting me?
No, he isn't.
All right, I'll just cut to the chase. Let me talk to Thonar now, or else.
Go. Go right ahead, then. Don't let me keep you.
After heading up some stairs and passing through a set of double doors, we find Thonar sitting at a dinner table.
What are you doing here? I told them no visitors.
Look, I'm sorry to interrupt your meal here, but I need answers about the Forsworn.
They're crazy. Think they rule the Reach. Well, guess who really runs things around here? Me. I own the mines. I make the coin pass to the right hands. That answer your damn questions. Now get out.
Before we're able to ask any more questions, Thonar hears some commotion coming from out in the main room.
What? By the gods, Betrid!
Rushing over to the top of the stairs, we can watch another murder unfold before our very eyes.
Die! Damn you.
Over here!
Suddenly, we get attacked.
No! Yeah!
Our bare hands just weren't cutting it, so I decided it was time to take out my trusty Dragonbone sword and put an end to this madness.
My wife. They killed her. Damn Madanach. Damn his forsworn backside.
Oh no, Thonar, I'm so sorry about your wife.
No, you're not. You want to know what the Forsworn really are? They're my puppets. I have their king rotting in Sidna Mine. He was supposed to keep them under control.
The Forsworn have a king? I had no idea.
Madanach, the king in rags. While we were off fighting the elves in the Great War, Madanach was busy ruling over the Reach. Until Ulfric came and put them down.
You mentioned that you had this king rotting in Sidna Mine. What is that place?
My prison. The source of half the silver in Skyrim. The most secure prison in Tamriel. No one escapes. I thought keeping Madanach down there would keep him under control.
So let me get this straight. You made a deal with this Madanach?
When their uprising was crushed, I had Madanach brought to me. He was a wild animal, but a useful one. I offered him a stay from execution if he used his influence to deal with any annoyances that came up. Competitors, agents, idiots. So I've let him run his little Forsworn rebellion from inside Sidna Mine. Now he's out of control.
Alright, I'll be honest with you, I don't like the sound of this. Do you want me to take care of Madanach?
You already got what you wanted, you damn hound. This is your fault. You and Madanach are animals, and I'll see you both rot to death in Sidna Mine for this. Now get out of my house!
Now things are really starting to make sense. The Silverbloods had struck a deal with the leader of the Forsworn. If Thonar spared Madanach's life, then Madanach would have to use his influence to target Thonar's enemies and spare his allies, operating from behind bars inside of Sidna Mine. Madanach has been acting as a puppet for the Silverbloods for years, but now it seems as though the deal is starting to unravel. We just witnessed 2 undercover Forsworn agents attack the Silverbloods, an attack that Madanach likely had something to do with, what with being the Forsworn leader and all. To me, it seems like Madanach has gone rogue. But we're still left with one important question. Who is this Nepos the Nose, and why did he send Dryston to kill us? To find out, we can head over to Nepos' house, which is located in North Markarth, next door to Vlindrel Hall. Once inside, we're stopped by a woman named Ual.
Excuse me. What's your business here?
I'm here to see Nepos.
We haven't been expecting you, and the old man needs his rest. Come back some other time.
Wait. It's okay, my dear. Send him in.
Yes, Nepos. You heard him. Go on in.
Need something?
I'm sorry about my housekeeper. She's a little protective of me. Now, what is it you want?
You sent that thug after me, didn't you? You tried to kill me off.
Ah, yes. You've proven to be a real bloodhound. Well, you've sniffed me out. I've been playing this game for almost 20 years, sending the young to their deaths, all in the name of the Forsworn. And I'm tired. So tired.
You're more than a murderer, Nepos. You're a monster.
A monster? No. I'm just a servant. To my king, Madanach. When the uprising fell at the hands of the Nords, they threw him in the mines. I don't know how, but he lives. I get his messages, and I hand out his orders without question.
So if Nepos was the one who sent out Dryston to kill us, and if Nepos gets his orders directly from Madanach, then that means that it was the king of the Forsworn himself that wanted us dead. But wait a minute. Madanach is supposed to be working as a pawn for Thonar, using his influence to only attack those who are enemies of the Silverbloods. Could it be that the order to have us killed came from Thonar? It's possible, but personally I don't think so. We already know that Madanach has all but broken his deal with Thonar, and is now acting on his own, with the proof being the attack we just witnessed inside the treasury house. Madanach likely found out that we were investigating the Forsworn with Eltrys, and wanting to put an end to the investigation, he put a hit on us, just as he did for Margaret. Nepos, why are you telling me all of this?
My dear boy, what makes you think you're getting out of here alive? You were seen coming in. The girl at the door is a Forsworn agent masquerading as a maid. You aren't the first one to have gotten this far. You won't be the last.
Suddenly, everyone in the entire house turns hostile and attacks.
There you are! Mercy!
After killing Nepos, we can search his body and loot Nepos' journal, which reads, "I grow guilt-ridden in my old age. So many of the young sent to their deaths, all in the name of the Forsworn, all in the name of Madanach, my king, who watches us from behind the iron bars of Sidna Mine. How long have I served you? Since the uprising against the Nords? Was there ever a time when all that violence hasn't overshadowed our destinies? What choice do I have but to do as I'm instructed?" Looks like Nepos the Nose, as cold and as cruel as he came across, regretted everything he's done over the years. He doesn't like serving Madanach, but for whatever reason, he feels as though he doesn't have a choice. To me, this is the very definition of cowardice. Instead of standing up to Madanach and living as a free man, Nepos the Nose allows the Forsworn king to control him like a puppet. As a result, dozens, maybe even hundreds of innocent people have died. Eager to tell Eltrys about everything we've learned so far, we can head back to the Shrine of Talos. But as soon as we pass through the doors...
We warned you, but you had to just go and cause trouble. Now we have to pin all these recent murders on you. Silence witnesses. Work, work, work.
What did you do to Eltrys?
Same thing we do with all the other natives who want to change things around here. We had a nice little deal going between Thonar and Madanach until you and Eltrys started snooping around. Well, you wanted to find the man responsible for those killings. You'll have plenty of time with the king in rags when you're in Sidna Mine.
We're then given the choice to either resist arrest or go quietly. Seeing that I likely wouldn't stand a chance against all the guards in the entire city of Markarth, I decided to accept my fate and allow them to take me to Sidna Mine.
You'll never see the sun again, you hear me? No one escapes Sidna Mine. No one.
Is this prison really impossible to escape from? Will we finally get to meet this Madanach face to face? We'll find out in tomorrow's episode. I'm curious to know what you think, folks. Do you agree with me when I say that it was Madanach that first ordered our death? Or do you think Thonar told Madanach to send Dreisten after us? If you think that Thonar is to blame, why? Is there any reason you can think of as to why the Silverbloods would want us dead? Let me know in the comments below. I post new videos on Skyrim every single Thursday and Friday, folks. So be sure to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date on all of my latest content. If you're an entertainment junkie like I am, then you might like my brand new podcast, Past the Veal, where we discuss everything from upcoming video games to movies and television shows. Last week we played Red Dead Redemption 2 and had a grand old time in the process. I'd love for you to join me. I post video versions of the podcast right here on my YouTube channel every Sunday night at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time, so be sure to check that out as well. But that's all for now, folks. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.